Hi, everybody. I'm Kevin Fleece, and I'm happy to be here at the GBTA broadcast studio today, and I'm joined by Nan Park, Vice President of Business Development for CIBT. Welcome, Nan.
Thank you, Kevin.
Great to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the pandemic. Let's roll the clock back a little bit. During the pandemic, we saw international travel fall off a cliff. In fact, it came to a halt worldwide. So how is CIBTvisas helping companies restart their business now in 2023?
Yeah, looking back, the pandemic definitely has put a heavy toll to international travel and also the implication around international travel. I think we all have some terrible memory about how complicated it is. And in general speaking, the complication and the risk is still there. And we have done several efforts to address the need for information and the need for data to help travelers and international clients to have better clarity on exactly what to expect and also how to navigate potential risk. And some of that are around our health and entry guide, which is almost a search engine capability on our website, and say, I hold XYZ passport, go into a particular country, what are the travel restrictions and what are the visa requirements? If I don't need a visa, what are the other document requirements? Anything from a company business letter to vaccine and testing requirements. And so all of that have helped company to navigate through the complication and implication on international travel. But in 2023, I believe the biggest element that we're trying to help to improve within the travel industry is really build awareness is that the risks are still there. We intend to let our guards down, borders open, we see on the news tons of things are being removed, but there are still unique requirements can caught a company travel program off guard. And it's our obligation to continue to offer that level of clarity and actionable insights to help people to understand what are the requirements, what are the best practices, and to be able to foresee what could be their next challenge and to get ahead of the curve.
Yeah, that's particularly important when you think about buyers of travel who have that duty of care to the
Absolutely.
passenger and their employees. Makes a lot of sense. It sounds like one of the really positive outcomes from the pandemic.
Absolutely.
And I think one of the sectors that's really been driving this resurgence in travel that we've seen over the last, say, 6 to 12 months is meetings and events.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let's talk about the meetings and events space and some of the trends you're seeing there. That's part one. And let's talk about how visa implications could potentially jeopardize that resurgence of meetings and events.
Yeah, this is definitely one of a painful outcome that we start seeing with as much of an energy and excitement to open international travel for majority parts of the world, even including China has recently officially opened, which is one of the largest travel markets. And we unfortunately have started seeing meetings, events to start fall apart. And partially because the oversight on visa requirements, appointment wait time, and difficulty to procure a visa from a particular to a particular country. And many of those events or company holding those events are taking a step back and to understand what are the right protocol and steps to carry out the most successful event. And some of the specific example is about before they confirm a destination, and we can help those company and organization to assess the risk, the processing time, the ability to obtain the appropriate travel document in time for the event, and to ensure the highest participation rate of that particular event or the least amount of cancellations. And unfortunately, some of the recent example from a U.S. and Canada perspective is that if you are a technology company or a company with some level of tech exposure in Asia, and you're holding an event in North America to bring excitement back into the organization for those who have not met their peers, have not been able to come to the company site or headquarters and offices. And oftentimes they run into a situation of a country like India and China that has extensive wait time for visa appointments. Then you're scheduling events 4 months in advance without knowing the visa wait time can be more than 12 to 24 months to be able to obtain that visa. And unfortunately, we have seen many organizations have to postpone the event or have substantial cancellation. And part of our solution is to rewire the meeting planners' thought processes to say, allow CIBT or other suppliers to come into the process, help you to define risks, and to build solution around that and provides you that actionable insight to determine, is this an appropriate location? What is the backup options? What is the appropriate timeline to deliver best performance for attendees to attend those events?
That's fascinating. Yeah, you think about sort of the venue as being the gating factor when you're scheduling an event, but it may actually be the visa wait
Correct.
times in many instances.
Unfortunately, yes, more often that is.
It's great advice for the meeting planners out there for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
So Nan, last question, and you talked a little bit about some of the things CIBT is doing to help companies mitigate risk in their return to travel efforts, but kind of paint the bigger picture for me. What are some of the things you all are doing sort of holistically?
Yeah, and one of the emerging trend in the industry, I feel that travel company in general, we can all do better, is that more company adopt into remote work, virtual work population. Before it was very simple, short-term business travel versus long-term assignment, aka travel visa, long-term residency work visa. But nowadays we have the hybrid space in between that can be short-term, but also long enough to not consider as a short-term. And that's where CIBT strategically coming into the space to offer viable solution for company is that we have capability to deliver short-term transactional visa services. We also have capability to deliver immigration solutions. And when company being in the hybrid, the gray area, we able to come in to offer either this is consultation, advisory support, or simply a creative solution, and to allow company to able to proactively address some of the emerging population or a global distribution of workforce, and also to put a actionable solution to physically deliver those travel document needs, either as short term as long term. I believe that is the future that we'll be dealing with. There will be three types of traveler. You have the short term, intermediary, short term, long term, and then the true long term assignment.
Awesome. Excellent. Nan, it's been a great conversation. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'd like to thank Nan from CIBT for joining us today in the GBTA broadcast studio. Have a great day.